David Chen stared at the holographic will projection floating above his kitchen table, the blue light casting eerie shadows across his cramped apartment. His great-uncle Marcus, whom he'd met exactly twice in his 28 years, had left him something impossible. Lunar Outpost Omega-7. This has to be a joke, David muttered, but the legal documents were authentic. The outpost had been abandoned for 15 years after a catastrophic system failure that killed the entire crew. Now it was his, along with a mountain of debt and a one-way ticket to the moon. 3 weeks later, David found himself in a cramped shuttle with Mino Nakamura, a brilliant xenoarchaeologist with short-cropped black hair and eyes that seemed to catalog everything they saw. The Luna Mining Consortium had hired her to assess any salvageable technology before David officially took possession. "You know this is insane, right?" Mino said, as Luna grew larger in the viewport. "Nobody inherits moon bases. There's gotta be a catch." David shrugged. "My life was going nowhere anyway. Worst case scenario, I die on the moon instead of in a cubicle." The outpost squatted on the lunar surface like a metallic spider, its solar arrays folded like broken wings. As their shuttle docked, emergency lighting flickered to life throughout the facility. Somehow, after 15 years, it still had power. "That's not normal," Mino frowned, checking her scanner. "Backup systems shouldn't last more than 5 years, maximum." They cycled through the airlock into a corridor lined with dead screens and emergency lighting. The air recyclers hummed softly. Another impossibility. David's footsteps echoed in the artificial gravity as they made their way to the command center. "David," Mino called from a side corridor, "you need to see this." She stood before a sealed door marked, "Authorized Personnel Only, Project Lighthouse." Her scanner showed massive energy readings from behind the reinforced barrier. "Uncle Marcus never mentioned a Project Lighthouse," David said, pulling up the facility schematics on his inherited access tablet. The room didn't appear on any official blueprints. The biometric scanner beside the door suddenly flashed green. "Welcome, David Chen. Genetic authorization confirmed." The door hissed open, revealing a vast chamber that shouldn't have fit within the outpost's structure. In the center stood a towering crystalline structure, pulsing with soft blue light. Holographic displays surrounded it, showing star charts, mathematical equations, and what looked like communication protocols. "Holy shit," Mino whispered, her scientific composure cracking. "David, this is first contact technology." They approached the crystal cautiously. As David drew near, the displays shifted to English text, as if responding to his presence. "Project Lighthouse. Human Zenari, Collaborative Initiative, Status, Active, Monitoring Phase. Next transmission, window, 72 hours. "Zenari?" David read aloud. The moment he spoke the name, the crystal pulsed brighter, and a new display materialized. A holographic figure appeared, humanoid but taller, with elongated limbs and large dark eyes. When it spoke, the words were translated in real time. "Greetings, Inheritor. I am Ambassador Keith Var of the Zenari Collective. If you are seeing this message, Marcus Chen has passed, and humanity's first diplomatic mission has begun." Mino grabbed David's arm. "Your uncle was Earth's first alien ambassador." The recording continued. "The Zenari have observed humanity for centuries, waiting for the right moment to make contact. Your species' resilience, creativity, and most importantly, your capacity for hope in the face of overwhelming odds has impressed the collective. Unlike other species we have encountered, humans do not simply adapt to their environment, they reshape it." David sank into a nearby chair, overwhelmed. "This is why he left me the outpost. It wasn't abandoned, it was secret. The transmission beacon will activate in 72 hours, Kethvar's recording explained. You must decide whether humanity is ready for formal contact. The choice and the responsibility now rest with you." Over the next 2 days, David and Mino explored the hidden archives. They discovered Marcus's journals detailing years of careful preparation. The catastrophic system failure had been a cover story. The crew hadn't died. They had been relocated to a Zenari diplomatic station to begin cultural exchanges. "Look at this," Mino said, pulling up a video log. Marcus appeared on screen, older but vibrant, standing beside several Zenari individuals. The Zenari don't just want to trade technology or resources. They want to invite humanity into a galactic community of species that share our stubborn refusal to give up. Apparently, Marcus continued in the log, most species reach a point in their development where they become satisfied with their achievements and stop pushing boundaries. Humans never do. We always want to go further, dig deeper, reach higher. The Zenari call it the impossible gift. As the transmission window approached, David stood before the beacon controls. Mino had returned to Earth to brief world leaders, but the final decision remained his. "Computer, show me the message queue." Hundreds of files appeared, scientific breakthroughs, cultural exchanges, warnings about hostile species, and invitations to worlds beyond imagination. But one file caught his attention. The human experiment. He opened it, and Kethvar's voice filled the chamber. "The Zenari have a theory about humanity. We believe your species might be the key to solving the Great Filter, the phenomenon that prevents most civilizations from expanding beyond their home systems. Your refusal to accept limitations, combined with your emotional resilience, represents something unprecedented in galactic history." David looked out at the Earth rising over the lunar horizon. 7 billion people going about their daily lives, unaware that their entire future hung in the balance. He placed his hand on the transmission controls. Whatever came next, humanity would face it the way they always had. Together, stubborn, and absolutely refusing to give up. The beacon activated, sending humanity's first official message to the stars. "We're ready to try the impossible." And, in the depths of space, the Zenari collective received their answer, along with something they had hoped for but never dared expect. Proof that the universe still held surprises, and that sometimes, the most unlikely species could become the key to unlocking infinite possibilities. The age of human diplomacy had begun,